I told you this orange piece of shit was panicked. He is desperate. He is panicking. I'm sure by now you all are aware of his latest Truth Social post about Epstein. He is desperate for this to go away. He's tried everything. He's tried to change the subject in so many ways, including some lame, half-assed attempt to change the subject by posting that he was considering stripping Rosie O'Donnell of her citizenship. I mean, how freaking desperate can this loser be? That's why I said yesterday, we need to be mocking this guy whenever he tries to so desperately change the subject from something that's doing real damage to him. It's so obvious what he's up to. Anyway, he posted this yesterday, and as soon as I read this, I was like, man, did he just make it worse for himself? I don't know what the hell he was. I don't know if he thought that this was actually gonna cause people to stop talking about it, if he thought that this was going to get the cult to all fall in line. This is one of the few issues that the cult is willing to question him over. Not everyone in the cult, but enough for it to be a serious threat to him. Because some of these people are really starting to ask obvious questions. I mean, things they should have started asking themselves long ago. And, the more people that begin to speak out and ask these questions and to start questioning the Orange God King, to start questioning the leader of their cult, that could cause other people to start doing the same, and you could get a snowball effect here that gets out of control and can really erode Trump's support with his cult. And they may begin to start questioning him on other things that, if they were honest with themselves, they would start to question aloud. But their psychology is such that they are so invested in believing Donald Trump and defending Donald Trump that it is going to do great psychological damage to them when they have to come to grips with the fact that they've been conned, that they've been brainwashed. Anyway, so this is not going to be easy to deprogram these people, and we're not going to be able to do it. They have to come to this on their own, and that is why this Epstein thing is so potentially deadly for Trump. Now, let me go ahead and, for those of you who haven't read this post by Trump, I want to read this quickly. And if you thought that, well, I don't know if I think Trump is actually in the Epstein files, he's pretty much telling you he's in the Epstein files. I mean, he's telling you he's in there while denying that there's anything to this. But it couldn't be more obvious that he's in the Epstein files. And that's why they're not being released. So let me read this. He wrote, "What's going on with my boys?" in quotes, and in some cases, gals, in quotes. "They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job." Now, just with that friggin' sentence alone, he's digging his hole deeper. Because the cult have even people who are just defending Donald Trump, they're pissed about this Epstein thing, and they've been channeling their anger onto Pam Bondi. I mean, that's been pretty universal. So for all of these people now for days calling for Pam Bondi to be fired, for Trump to come out and say, why is everyone going after her? She's doing a fantastic job. And by the way, that's in all caps, fantastic job. Man, if you are trying to make this go away, you're off to a bad start there. He continues, "We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration, the talk of the world. If you are the talk of the world, but if you think the talk is how perfect your administration is, you couldn't be more wrong if it was your life's ambition to be wrong. That's not what they're saying. Anyway, the talk of the world and selfish people are trying to hurt it. All over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. For years, it's Epstein, over and over again. Why are we giving publicity? This is one of the things that's making the cult scratch their head and start to ask questions. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia? Okay, blah, blah, blah. So he's admitting here that there's files. Why are we, sorry, I'm on my laptop here and I suck at using the touchpad. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey? See, this doesn't make any sense. And even some of these brain dead MAGA cultists are at least familiar with the years that people were president, right? So he's saying that the files were written by Obama and Hillary and all of those people. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested when Donald Trump was president. The files would have been written at the time Donald Trump was president. Okay? And Jeffrey Epstein supposedly committed suicide when Donald Trump was president. So how can you blame this on Obama and Hillary and all of that? And on top of the fact that you and your attorney general just a few days ago said that there's no client list. There's nothing to this. Now you're like, why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama? Are there files? Is there a client list? What's going on? You said that there was nothing to release. Now you're referring to files? Why are we giving publicity to them? Why don't you just release them, jackass? And that's the question that some of these cultists, or maybe former cultists, fingers crossed, are starting to ask obvious questions. You were supposed to release all this. You promised you would release all this. Then a few days ago, Bondi says there's nothing to release, and now you're here referring to files. Release them. Why won't you release them? They're starting to ask that question. Now, we all know the answer to that because he's in those friggin' files. He could put this all to rest right now by releasing the files, but he's not going to do it because he's in there. Okay, what else did he write here? Okay, scroll down, please. I'm not going to read all of this. He goes on, Russia hoax, laptop from hell. Okay, going back to Hunter's laptop. He's trying to reconnect with them and get them off the Epstein files. Can we please talk about Hillary and Obama, please? Can we talk about, how about, Hunter's laptop? Talk about that. We could talk about that some more. Just stop talking about Epstein. It's so pathetic. He's so desperate. This whole thing just reeks of desperation. Then he goes on to say how great he is. And then, the 2020 election was rigged. Let's talk about that some more. Anything but Epstein. Hunter's laptop, the rigged election in 2020. Come on. Let's talk about our greatest hits. Come on. And then at the end here, he says, he tells him not to spend any more time on talking about Epstein. And then in all caps, let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. So and then he goes on, and I'm not going to read all of this, but let her do her job. She's great. And this is the only sentence in this whole fucking diatribe that is in all caps. Now, he had some all caps here and there, but the whole sentence is in all caps. So to him, that's the most important part of this. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. He wants to make sure that Pam Bondi gets the message that he stands behind her. She's great. Because Pam Bondi might know the truth here. Now, Dan Bongino, the deputy director, and even Kash Patel, who are talking about resigning if this stuff doesn't get released. I think these idiots might not be in the loop. they might not know what's in the files. They might still believe the bullshit that this is going to implicate Hillary and Bill Clinton and Obama and all kinds of Democrats in some sort of pedo ring. I think they might still believe that because they may not have actually seen the files and they're mad at Pam Bondi for not releasing them. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with all of those people. But it seems to me like maybe Pam Bondi does know what's in those files, because Trump is going out of his way to let her know that I stand behind you. You're great. My cult is furious with me right now, but I'm still going to do the worst thing I could do right now and defend you, who they all hate, because I know you have the goods on me and I have to keep you close to me, because if you turn on me, I'm screwed. At least that's one possible way to read this. I don't know. I don't know what all the facts are. None of us do. We don't know who knows what. But here's a question. That's sort of an obvious question. Obviously, there are files. And obviously, they are very, very bad for Donald Trump, because he's also obviously worried about them coming out. And that may be part of the reason for this Truth Social post. He's trying to set the narrative in case these files come out. And the narrative is these were created by Obama and Hillary and Brennan and Comey, and you can't believe a word that's in those files, because he knows what's in them and he knows it exposes him. So if these things come out, he wants the cult to be preconditioned to believe that they were created by Obama and it's all fake news and it's all designed to get Trump, just like the Russia collusion crap that he refers to. That's, I think, maybe what he's doing with this. Number one, to beg these people to stop talking about Epstein. Please, let's change the subject. And failing that, to lay the groundwork in case these things come out, to get the cult to believe that they're all lies, that everything in the files that say Trump was, neck deep in all of this stuff that Jeffrey Epstein was doing, not to believe it because it's all lies, because Obama and Hillary created those documents. This man is desperate. He is, and I think it's beyond desperate. I think he is full on panicked. This is the greatest threat to date in the last 10 years. I believe that this Epstein thing shows potential to do the greatest damage to him and to drive the greatest wedge between him and his cult. I mean, not even January 6th did it. I mean, and the reason why all those Republicans who immediately came out and denounced Trump and made it sound like they would vote for his impeachment and his conviction in the Senate, and then they all changed their minds thereafter, like Lindsey Graham famously. The reason is because the cult never broke with him. Pardon me. The cult never broke with him over January 6th. They didn't give a shit. Violence against police officers attacking the Capitol, shitting in the rotunda of the Capitol. They had no problem with any of that. That did nothing to drive a wedge between Trump and his cult. But this Epstein thing, that does. Because Trump and his people have been leading these cultists by the nose over Epstein and all of these conspiracies. They've spent years cultivating this crap, telling the cult what they wanted to believe, and they believe all of it. And they believe Donald Trump was going to expose all of it. All this QAnon garbage, Trump was going to take down the deep state. Now, his own cult members on Truth Social are even starting to question, Donald Trump, he's part of the deep state now. I mean, he's being ratioed on Truth Social, meaning the number of comments he got on this post exceeds the number of likes he got on this post. All right, he's got I can't read, is that 38,000 or something comments and only 33,000 likes. He's getting destroyed. If you read through some of these comments, of course, there's a lot of people circling the wagons and making excuses, but you're seeing a lot of people question him, saying, I'm done with Trump, or is Trump part of the deep state now? Was this all a lie? All of this We've never seen a break like this among people in Trump's cult. Not all of them by any means, but that's why we have to not let up on this. This is the most dangerous issue for Trump. That's why he's so desperate to change the subject. We can't let that happen. We need to keep the focus on this. The Democrats in Congress need to be talking about Epstein, demanding release of the files, demanding hearings. Don't let this go. No other issue has had the danger for Trump that this issue does. We need to freaking pound this and not let go. Not let go. We need to do what Trump and his cult and Fox News and all of them do when they seize upon an issue that is damaging to Democrats. And they take issues that aren't even initially damaging, but they talk about it so much that it eventually becomes damaging. It becomes an accepted narrative, like Hunter's laptop and all that kind of crap. Don't let it go. I think that this man... and by the way, I came across an article here, Fox and Friends apparently this morning. Of course, I don't watch Fox and Friends, but I got reading an article about it. They're essentially begging Trump to come clean. They're calling this a ticking time bomb. Some person named Cork, last name Cork, I don't know who this host is on Fox and Friends Sunday, said you can defuse this ticking time bomb if you simply get out there. And then he goes on to say, you can't tell me that 1,000 people were hurt and that there are no more people out there that we can arrest. You can tell me that. Sorry, we don't have a list. Fine. Don't have a list. Tell me who the perpetrators were. Let's depose every single person who might have had a chance to get on that list and might have been out there at that island. And let's talk to them. Let's find out what happened. You're telling me there are videos out there in New Mexico and on the island and in New York and nobody saw anything? I don't buy it. And that's why they need to get out there and face the fire. He added, it doesn't have to be long, but you have to answer questions to the American people because absent that, this story won't die. And that is a distraction the president doesn't want. So they're begging him, get out there, put this to rest. Just come clean. Except this person is too stupid to realize why Donald Trump is ordering this cover up. He can't come clean. Don't you freaking people get that yet? He's in the files. Who was at the island? Trump was at the island. What the hell? Why are you people so intentionally oblivious to the facts? Have you not seen the pictures? My God, people. He's doing this. He's standing behind Pam Bondi because she's doing what he told her to do. Cover this shit up. Don't let this stuff come out. Because I can't afford it. The cult will leave me. When are these people going to wake up? But you know what? This is a good start. At least they're asking these questions. They're telling Trump, this won't go away. You have to deal with this. They haven't quite gotten to the point where they can put two and two together and understand why he hasn't dealt with it and why he won't deal with it and why he's telling everyone to just ignore it because he's obviously neck deep in it. By the way, I'm also half expecting this to happen. I'm expecting, or I don't know if I'm expecting, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the near future, Trump has Pam Bondi release files that will be complete forgeries. See, because one of the things that I don't understand is why Trump controls all this stuff now. He's got Pam Bondi at DOJ and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino over at FBI. Why don't you just destroy the files? You guys control them. Just destroy the files. I mean, isn't that an obvious question? There's got to be a reason for that. I'm not sure what that reason is. Maybe there are people who have those files that are outside of his control now. I've speculated that maybe Elon Musk has the files. He may have had the opportunity as head of Doge and able to put his fingers in every computer system in the federal government. Maybe he's got those files. Maybe other people have those files. Maybe Vladimir Putin has those files, and that's one of the things he's been blackmailing Trump with. Who knows who has these files? And if Putin has those files, he could have given them to anybody. We don't know. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But if Donald Trump is in control of those files and nobody else has any copies, then why not just say, we've looked, there's nothing there, and just destroy them, right? No, instead, he refers to the files. He says there are files, but you can't believe anything that's in there because they were created by Obama and Clinton and all those people. That tells me that he knows there's files, he knows it's bad for him, but that he doesn't have exclusive control over those files. Otherwise, he would have destroyed them. So, I don't know. All I know is this. This is really bad for Donald Trump. And we need to not let up. And anything that's bad for Donald Trump is good for America. So let's keep on this. Nothing has had the potential to drive a wedge between him and his cult base like this does. We need to not let up. Okay? So anyway, I'll talk about this because this is not going to be the end of it. That's for damn sure. Because whatever he intended to happen as a result of this latest post, did not. So this didn't work. I don't know exactly what he was trying to accomplish. Obviously, he wanted to change the subject. As I said, I think he also was trying to lay the groundwork for people not to believe the files when they do come out. Maybe he's expecting them to come out. Maybe that's part of this too. Maybe he's expecting that whoever else has access to these files is going at some point to release them. And that's why he's saying, oh, you can't believe them. Obama created these. I don't know. But this didn't put it to bed. That's for damn sure. This isn't the end of it. It's not going away anytime soon. So don't let up. It's working. It's working. So, all right, that's it for now. Hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you again soon.